We now have a blog for a podcast. You can go check it out at reactivityshow.com. I've been thinking up to set up a blog for some time now, and last week I was able to set it up from scratch. Hello and welcome to Reactivity Podcast. I'm your host Kalyan, and this is a show about all things Android. From tips to latest news to experiences that can help you become a better developer. When I decided to set up a blog for our podcast, I had to validate the available options today and choose one. So my goal was to set up a quick and easy blog so that I don't waste so much time on writing one from scratch, and at the same time I want a robust platform that I can build upon slowly. So with this target, the first thing that came to my mind is good old WordPress. WordPress used to be my favorite platform and the primary suggestion for someone who wants to start a blog. To me, WordPress is an example that resonates the fact that you don't need a shiny new framework or programming language to build a robust platform that can handle millions of users efficiently. Of course, nowadays there are others like Squarespace and Wix that can help us set up a blog or website with lots of functionality very easily without writing the code ourselves. But obviously, luxury comes with a cost. Even though the cost wasn't a big deal for the speed that we get back in return, the developer in me wouldn't be happy if I choose WordPress. I wanted to dive in a bit and take this as an opportunity to learn as well. I've also thought about the other extreme end where I write the web app from scratch using the latest and greatest frameworks. But that isn't my goal anyway. My first requirement is to be quick. So even though it is exciting to start a new project from scratch, I resisted not starting one again. In regards to time, choosing a middle ground makes sense. But what about the cost? I should also think about choosing a non-expensive option to host the blog. There are tons of providers out there for hosting a blog, and the prices have come down a lot these days compared to a few years ago. But in order to start with a minimum expense, my attention went towards GitHub Pages. GitHub Pages helps the developer in me justifying that I have complete control of the blog and I get to manage the content without leaving my editor, and most importantly, it's easy to write in Markdown. And it is free to host. All I have to spend on is to get a domain. That's it. I guess most of you are already familiar with GitHub Pages, but if you're not, you should check it out today. It is very helpful in setting up not just blogs, but also documentation sites, portfolio sites, and basically any static website or a front end. So by now, I got my thoughts clear on moving ahead with GitHub Pages and a static generator for the blog. With the popularity of GitHub Pages, there have been many frameworks developed to ease the process of static site generation. These static site generators basically apply your data and content to templates and generates the plain HTML pages which can then be served to browser directly, and thus automating the whole process of building and deploying. Lately, I've seen tweets from many people saying about Gatsby and Netlify to streamline their blogging pipeline. Gatsby was my first choice as well indeed, but it felt a little bit overwhelming to begin with. So unless you are quite comfortable with JavaScript or TypeScript, you have to go through a steep learning curve. Finally, Hugo and Jekyll seem the promising frameworks that are left to choose from. I should say that these two are very similar and equally good and made it difficult to choose from. Hugo is built with Go language and focuses on the speed in building the website along with numerous open source themes to choose from, while Jekyll is built with Ruby and is way easier to use and configure. Another key point that goes in favor of Jekyll is that it has support from GitHub Pages and is even officially recommended by GitHub. Another reason why I ended up choosing Jekyll is my familiarity with Ruby. Early in my career, I worked on a Ruby on Rails project and it taught me many things. The principle of convention over configuration is new to me back then, and it felt amazingly simple to use a framework that follows this principle. I could pick it up so easily and complete the project very quickly than expected. With these good experiences with Ruby and official support from GitHub Pages, Jekyll felt home straight away and was able to set up the blog easily. Another issue I often face early with any of my new projects is over-refining the fine details initially. In this case, I struggled with choosing the theme for the blog. I've tried multiple themes, customizing each one and then switching to another. Later, I decided to put a pause to this and decided to use a minimal theme and improve it over time. With that decided, the remaining things felt like a breeze. So if you're like me, remember to not do over refinement at the beginning of your projects and start implementing the core functionality first and make the progress. Blogs have come a long way from blogger blogs 2 decades ago to medium publications these days, and there have been countless blogs out there today. Even with these many blogs out there, remember that content is the pillar and quality content always stands out from the rest. That's it for the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out our blog at reactivityshow.com and let me know what you think. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at reactivitypod. Catch you all in the next episode.